Um,
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. My name is Jasper with Score Main. I'm joined by Tracy Eau Claire of Talk Media here to talk today about marketing your business for the holidays. It's not too late. If you're not familiar with us here at Score, we are a resource partner of the Small Business Administration, and we help clients from all stages of the business cycle from pre-start to exit. We want to thank today's sponsor, the Maine Technology Institute, for helping make this event possible. If you have any questions, feel free to queue them up in the chat. We can read them off as they're appropriate, and we'll also have a section for Q&A later. Otherwise, Tracy, why don't you take it away?
sure. Hold on. All right. So today we're going to talk about holiday marketing. My name's Tracy Eau Claire. I own a small digital marketing agency, and I am going to shut off my video just because I'm having a little technical difficulties trying to see myself and then see both the presentation screen and so on and so forth. So everybody can see that screen that says uh, not too late to market for the holidays, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
That's good.
Perfect. All right. So my name again, Tracy Eau Claire. I own a small digital marketing agency out of Maine. We do a lot of different things. I've been in business for about 15 years. Social media marketing, email marketing, content. I am a marketer at heart. So basically, I have strategy, all sorts of marketing. I've done traditional marketing, so on and so forth. One of my specialties is creating online audiences and marketing to them, obviously. I work with small businesses and I'm just gonna I have a lot to share today. Definitely welcome to add to the chat your questions, and I don't mind answering questions moving forward. Jasper, how many people do we have online right now?
Right now, we've got 8.
Okay, cool. So we have a small group. So feel free to chime in if you guys have questions, and I'll stop every so often to ask people if they have questions as well. So one of the biggest things that I think is very important for everybody to know is just know when you're starting your holiday marketing or any marketing in any time of the year is just to understand your business. And I know that a lot of scores participants are starting out, startup companies, a solopreneur where they just are still sometimes figuring this out. So I wanted to kind of go through it because it's really important when you're trying to plan promotions. Like, what do you have? What are your resources? Who can you partner up with? Are you business to business versus business to consumer? Because that makes a big difference on how you market and who you're reaching. Also, are you a brick and mortar or you're remote? Because brick and mortar, we're gonna maybe focus up more on like foot traffic and getting people through the door, uh, hmm, identifying your products and services is gonna and I'm gonna have a slide on this a little bit later in regards to creating promotions for your products and services. Knowing your target market, a lot of the clients that I work with when I first start working with them, they're like, everybody's my target market. I'm marketing to everybody. Well, that's not necessarily true, and especially where the markets have become so segmented. So just knowing who your primary client or customer is, what do they do? So we really want to think about that in our head. Are they playing golf during the day? Are they, scrolling through Netflix? Um, what is their age, their location, their sex, so on and so forth. And a lot of that information you can get from the data you might already have, whether it's on Facebook insights, LinkedIn, or even your email marketing, or just knowing your audience. Like pick the top 3 or 4 clients or customers that are repeat business or ongoing work and identify them. Do they have any trends that or characteristics that can group them together? And then what does your audience value? So are they value like in regards to your products and service and your business, what do they value? Are they looking at price, or is it more quality, or is it a mix in between, or are they just want to be part of your business atmosphere and brand? Because a lot of people will just be supportive of what you stand for. And it depends, on what you're doing. What do you stand for? I would be a good question as well. And then what resonates with them? So are there certain things that people ask you on a regular basis or give you feedback about in regards to your product and service and business? Like they like how you wrap the product or the product packaging, or they just like how it makes them feel, or is it providing a solution to their problem? And again, that boils down to both consumers and businesses and various audiences, because everybody needs something. And then what you really want at the end of the day is for the consumers to trust you, and because people buy from people they trust. Another thing with holiday marketing and all marketing, is that you want to find out who are your business partners, who are your vendors, who are the community charity programs that you can connect with. Do you have relationships with them? Are they somebody that you could do a co-promotion with? So for instance, manufacturers sometimes will do co-ops for advertising, and um, that will help you out. Or your vendor has a website that has all of the product detail on it. Can you take that information and utilize that for your own marketing? You should be able to if you're a customer of theirs. Another thing throughout the holiday marketing is really knowing your community. So who is that? If you're local, then it's fairly easy to find out, various charities or people within the community that are influencers for that specific audience. But even if you're national or international, there's various organizations that have very similar missions and visions, and most importantly, the same target market that you could collaborate with and run a promotion. And of course, you want to work with people that you have a good relationship with, so they're easy to work with. It's not going to be a whole lot of red tape, because uh, this presentation is for like last minute. Hey, holidays are 2 weeks away, but they really started about a month ago. So when you're talking about any promotional marketing, you want to kind of keep track with like what's Walmart doing, and we all know what Walmart's doing. Walmart's, as soon as Thanksgiving is over, and even before, Christmas is there, and then it's President's Day sales, and then it's Valentine's and St. Patty's Day, and so on and so forth. So just surrounding kind of, if you're new to promotions, I would recommend taking these steps that I'm going to be telling you, and then just review the data and see how things work, but keep doing it all year round. If you're a retail business and a consumer based business, you're definitely going to need more promotions than you would as a business to business. However, don't just knock it off as I don't need that because I'm a relationship manager. Everybody in business understands. So if I market to businesses, I mean that's my clientele, but they understand a good deal, and they understand that you're trying to make your business run, or you are, on your way to success, and they appreciate that, I find. So don't be afraid to ask. And then, how are you currently selling your product? So this really lines down to like, are you selling online? Are you doing it in person? What is your sales approach? How long does it take to get a new client? What's your turnaround? So on and so forth. So part of this presentation, hold on, let me just click this out. Is just brainstorming promotions. So you see these all the time, and they work. Buy one get one free. Buy one get some free swag. So like with a swag, it could be like buy today, and I'm going to give you a T-shirt, which I already have. Buy now, pay later. There's all sorts of options there. Free shipping if you're online, or even if you're just shipping products. So um, book before the holiday, enter to win a trip. So these are just some ideas. But what I want you to do is kind of, what can I do that is a promotion without robbing yourself? So, obviously everything gets tight with small businesses, and we don't want to just give away the bank. Like I don't I want to, you want to look at your bottom line. You need to make money, right? I mean, you owe it to your business to keep your business running above all else. So I would just think about different promotions that you can do throughout the end of the year. And with these promotions, we don't want to make it go all season. We want like mini promotions. So like a week at a time, 2 weeks. Monthly promotions are okay depending on what it is, like enter to win or if it's something big, because you can continue to push that. But really, what we're trying to achieve is create the promotion, launch it to the public, put it out there on all the media that you have, and then analyze it. Did we get views? Did we get interaction? Did we actually get people signing up or buying? And so you want to kind of think through that, but for the sake of the presentation, you don't want to think too much. Just make it simple. Um, and do a couple small, do like 4 or 5, 5 to 7 promotions. However, that may sound like a lot, but it might, but it's really not sometimes. And I just put $100 off candy canes because I thought it was cute. Um, and then when you end up at the end of the year, you're looking at lock into 2025 rates, the new year's coming, things of that nature. So I'm just kind of including that in here. And again, you may have, I just put these 2 brands on here. So like Sayla Tea and Waterville, I don't know if anybody's been there, but they sell coffee, obviously. And so they could do small promotions like get a free coffee because coffee is fairly inexpensive with your meal, but it's only on Tuesday. Or they could also work with like a charity or something like that. And every coffee that you buy, proceeds go to the local food bank or something like that. And then with like a real estate agency like Rizzo Maps and Realtors, and I've actually seen them. They did I believe it was either a coat drive or a food drive with the local radio station where all their agents went to create relationships. Because with real estate, people buy a house typically like every 7 years, so it's real relationship driven. Um, and so that goes back to like defining your business and figuring out what makes the most sense for you. But once you've kind of brainstormed your promotions and what you can do, break it down. So you want to write a full description about it, all the details, because basically this is going to be your start point for your promotions and how you release it out. So write down all, like, you're going to get this and that, and this is how you do this, this is how you sign up, so that it's very clear that you know what you're trying to tell other people. Again, you want to do a start date and an end date. I'm doing some promotions for a couple clients now, and we're doing with one of them, we're doing a 2 week release. Excuse me, I'm coming off a cold, which seems to linger forever. Um, so so we're doing, like, we launched something yesterday, which was a sale with free delivery, and we're gonna do it for 2 weeks, but we're also gonna be launching we have an e-commerce store, and we're gonna start launching new products every 2 weeks and then promote them and then see what the sales are and whether or not we wanna keep them on the store. Um, so having multiple promotions is fine. Um, you gotta keep track of everything. So you wanna make it very clear, this is what we're trying to achieve, this is what we're offering, and this is how we're gonna present it to the client or to the audience, to your audience, and then this is how we're gonna review it. Like, this is the end date, and at that end date, we're gonna find out exactly how things go. But you can also look at the analytics in between and see if you need to give it a little bit more of a push. I think identifying partners through all promotions, whether there's a couple charities that you like, or just other, like I said, other vendors or organizations that are not competing with you, but they have the same audience. And a lot of times those are trades associations or a complementary product or service that works with your business. Like, those customers are also our customers. So just make sure that you define your promotion and write it down. I think writing it down is very important so you can see it and you don't forget it. And as a business owner, you should pretty much write everything down. So take advantage of sale days. Um, I've been guilty of not doing this in the past, but I think it's very important for everybody if you can manage it. And what works, if you're just getting started out and it fails, that's okay too, because at least you did something and you can know better for next time. I wouldn't wipe it out as like a complete failure for the rest of your life. The market changes all the time. There's various things that you can offer. You can do better next time. So I would keep working towards things, and especially if you do something, say it's an annual event, right? Or you try something and it went okay, you can make that an annual event. Like this is the Cyber Monday sales, sales event, and you can call it event or, whatever you want to call it. Um, but I wrote down the dates here. I hope I got them all right. And I even found a new one, which is like Green Monday, which is apparently from eBay, but it's like last minute shopping on December 8th. National Free Shipping Day. That was new when I was researching this. I didn't know that. Super Saturday is the Saturday before Christmas. And then obviously New Year's Eve and Christmas and so on and so forth. And sorry, I'm not trying to leave any religion out. That's just what I put in there. Um, and then Black November is basically what a lot of advertisers call November, because even though um, Black Friday is on the 28th, a lot of these marketers will do this is the first release of our Black Friday deal. So if you have a lot of different products, you could be doing promotions all throughout November. Obviously, we're halfway through and Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away, but there's still time. If you're a small business, which I'm assuming most of you are, Small Business Saturday is definitely a great thing to tap into. Again, it comes with that pre-planning. So if you were to plan on, say, it's Small Business Saturday, stop in our shop between 12 and 1 on Saturday, and we're gonna serve you a glass of wine, some cheese, and we hope you buy our jewelry, our handcrafted jewelry. You know what I'm saying? So like you could do a private event for that, and that's something you can do right now. You still have a week away. Throw it up on Facebook. Make some details. Um, See how you do, and do it again next year. Excuse me. There's also a bunch of different holiday themes out there. And I already talked about a lot of them, but ugly sweater party, Santa's workshop. It's really hard for me to give you advice on which one you would be doing because I don't know what your business is. However, all of these can tie in somewhere. Treat yourself, enjoy joy and magic. Take the magic of the season. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it is when you're a marketer jumping on these things in your own way. You still want to be authentic. Makes sense for marketing and promotions. And since again, this is like what to do kind of last minute, um, you don't really want to rely too much on anybody else. So like getting into a gift guide now for Black Friday would probably be a little bit difficult if it was not your own gift guide. However, you could create a gift guide and say these are the gifts that are the top sellers, and you could put them out on email and social media, and people like to see what's popular. And then you would obviously add a promotion into that. Buy now and get 20% off. Another thing I should probably mention is you got to look at your percentages, because I know some people that have messed up on this and say 20% off gift cards, but then somebody comes in and does a gift card for like $10,000. So I would make sure that when you're doing your terms for your promotion, make sure you have minimum spend, maximum spend, and then be careful with like the percentage off. You can also do $100 off, $25 off, anything like that makes sense as well. Does anybody have any questions? Probably not.
If you have any questions, put them in the chat. We do have Fred introducing himself. Fred owns an arborist and landscaping business specializing in fruit trees, ornamental trees, shrubs, and more, as well as wildfire mitigation for homeowners.
That's great. So that's a great business. I'll try to find that in here. Um, well, as we know, trees and Christmas go together. So there's
Oh
some
yeah.
marketing there. All right. And home maintenance, home improvement, so on and so forth. Call to actions. Do not ever forget your call to action. Mostly because this tells people how to do something. Everybody on the internet and everybody in real life, they want to save they want to save time by being told how to do something so they can do it quick. They don't want to click twice when they can click once. But be very specific and keep this with everything that you're pushing out there. So enter to win here with the link. Stop in between on Saturday between 4 and 6. What I like to do for Facebook events So Facebook events are very powerful because people can click interested or going to it. And then when you post in the discussions of Facebook groups, or sorry, Facebook events, they will get a notification if their notifications are turned on. And by default, their notifications are turned on. So it's a great place to collaborate with your customers that are already following you, as well as to reach other people. And then you can also throw ads out there if you want. That's up to your budget, but Facebook advertising is fairly inexpensive. I wouldn't go crazy with Google for a short term project. Subscribe to your email list, DM us for more information, schedule for your free estimate now, things of that nature. It's great if everybody was buying online, but a lot of people are not selling online. So it's just a matter of who do you call? Call this number now. Or you can also say text if you're a person that allows text for your business. So once you have your promotion, or while you're thinking about this, you're brainstorming your promotion, you've written down the deal with all the details, with your call to action, you have identified who you're selling this to, who's most likely to buy, so that way you can craft your message to talk directly to them. Hey Joe, who likes to golf, here's a golf ball that's really unique because it's pink, or whatever it is. Click on this link to buy it. You, it's buy one, get three free, or whatever it is. Um, so you want to think about, what do you have available right now that you can put information to your clients? So how can you communicate with your current clients that have bought from you or have showed interest? So that typically is going to be an email list or a social media link. But it also could be public relations, where you're in a fairly, where you can put out a press release of some sort. Say if you're doing an event for charity, for instance, charity events and fundraisers are great for public relations. So I do recommend, as any company, to be doing something that's charity oriented throughout the year, but especially during holiday seasons, because everybody needs help. There's a lot of families out there that can't afford presents, they can't afford food, so on and so forth. Seniors, and it's just a matter of picking which nonprofit you'd like to work with, that you believe in, that they're doing a good job, and then potentially, doing a collaboration with them, which in turn, obviously, you can market your business on top of that through public relations. So, contained audiences. Are you part of any Facebook groups? Again, with your partners, do they have a group that you can market to? And the thing, I think I have the next slide. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about email marketing. So if you don't have a is there a way that we can have everybody raise their hand or do something to tell me if they have an email marketing software like MailChimp or Constant Contact?
Yeah, if you could either use the raise hand function in the React window or chime off in the chat. If you do, Leonard does, it looks like.
Great.
Fred does not.
Okay. All right. So I email marketing is the best return on investment for any digital marketing platform. So, Outbeats at digital advertising and Outbeats social media. The best thing about email marketing is that you get to keep your emails. And then, well, there's a lot of things that are great about email marketing. You're emailing. Email is very intimate. So everybody, for the most part, has their email, or their work email, their personal email on their phone. So by somebody subscribing to your list and actually staying on your email list, that means that they're supporting you. So that, and because you're going into their personal space, right? They would either block you or unsubscribe. So it becomes very intimate. Typically, well, not typically, but you should be using an email marketing software like Constant Contact and MailChimp. Both of them are small business friendly. The rates are $30 or less for the start out, and then allows you to put in all of your emails, which I do recommend taking. Say, a lot of times with my clients, I find their email list lives in QuickBooks or whatever they're using to book their appointments. So you would basically export that into a file and then import it into one of these platforms. And again, I recommend Constant Contact or MailChimp. And then you can create an email in there, and it doesn't have to look perfect if you're just getting going, but these programs pretty much make it easy for you to be able to make a brand matching email template and then send an email. And you can do that now for holiday marketing. You can go sign up for a product. I mean, not for a product, but for a Constant Contact or MailChimp, create a brand matching template, and then upload your email list. You already have your written down promotions that and your deadlines and all of that. And then you would want to pre-schedule your emails. It is a small upcharge for pre-scheduling, I think, on MailChimp, but not Constant Contact. And you could reschedule an email to announce promotion, and then something in the middle, depending on how much time and your audience. And you don't want to get too salesy because they'll turn people off. And then don't miss it. So when I used to, or when I was marketing events and webinars, and would send out our regular monthly email, and within that monthly email would mention the upcoming events, but then would do one email specifically for the upcoming event about 4 weeks out, and then would do another email specifically for that event the Monday before the event, which they were usually on Wednesday, so it'd be like, don't miss out on Wednesday's event. And that's a really good format for email marketing on any promotion, basically. You have your announcement, then basically don't forget. And then you don't really necessarily want to send out the same exact email about the promotion. And that's why you have that written description, so you can spin it off in different ways. You don't have to mention every single thing in all of your social media posts and your emails. Basically, your announcement should have the most information, but then small tidbits about, like, this is a pencil. This is the best pencil in the world because it fits in your hand and it has its own grip. Okay. And then you're using your call to action: buy one, get one free, click here. And then the next social media post, and I know we're talking about email, but social media post is easier to manipulate. Then it would be, hey, does your child have all the pencils they need? I bet they don't have this one. Buy one, get one free. Click here. Um, excuse me. So it would be very easy for somebody to set up an email account if they do not have one, and start doing emails throughout the rest of the year and then beyond. I do recommend, when people are doing email marketing, to continue to grow their online list, connect it to their website so people can sign up. They make it very easy to provide a link for social media, so on and so forth. Encourage people to do that. It's also a good way to do giveaways. But I recommend that when you are doing email marketing, do it at least once a month, so that the emails get cleaned out and you don't get stuck in the void of paying for something that you're not using, or just not using it. Don't forget to proofread. Use available images. Don't go crazy. A lot of people just overthink marketing, and they're afraid to hit send. They're afraid to hit publish. We always, as business owners, want things perfect. Perfect is, I think, just a mirage. Um, so it's better to publish. Make sure, obviously, you proofread and so on and so forth. But if it's just not right, it's still better just to publish it out and get the information out there. And you can make it simple. Try to stay simple. Um, but it's nice to have somebody else proofread it. When you're proofreading, you should be reading every single word, not skipping it in your head. Sometimes reading out loud helps with that. And then just make sure you click on all the links to make sure they work. You can uh, automate emails. So if somebody signs up for your list, they can get the discount code or something. So you could create a landing page within these email marketing programs where it's receive the code today for the online, whatever the promotion is. And then they get an automatic email once they sign up and sends them a code. So that's a nice little trick in there too. So in social media, once you have your promotion, you want to go schedule it. And I believe, well, I use Sprout Social, which is the publishing network, but there's there's a bunch of them out there. I don't know which ones because I can't think off the top of my head with a cold. Um, but basically, if you have something that pre-schedules, like a software that pre-schedules social media posts, use it. I believe that LinkedIn now allows you to pre-schedule posts, but don't but maybe we should double check on that. And then Meta Business Suite allows you to pre-schedule on LinkedIn. I mean, on Facebook and Instagram. So that's a nice platform. And I'm assuming a lot of you guys are marketing on Facebook versus the other networks. And I believe TikTok allows you to pre-schedule as well. Constant Contact, which is the email marketing program that I was talking about, they do have a pre-scheduling, and I'm not positive about Mailchimp, but there's definitely tools out there to pre-schedule. Point being is if you're doing promotions, don't leave it up till you're gonna do that other post on Tuesday, because everybody knows life gets busy. Um, and you also want to make sure it's correct and it's timed just right. So I would pre-schedule, do your emails, pre-schedule your social media, and just let it go on autopilot. And then check your data afterwards or throughout, which is a lot easier than creating something. You're just checking data, and see if it needs an extra push for any matter. So that could be an additional email, additional more urgent social media post. And again, don't worry about publishing, especially on social media, because you can just go in and change it, which is great. I have a, a lot of analytical people in my realm, and they're like, we just want it all perfect. So they get 5 people trying to proof it. Nobody has time to do it. And then eventually they just missed it. So now it's just, it's irrelevant at the time. We want to make sure that we're, on top of things when we're posting and not become paralyzed by the inability to make a decision.
Yeah,
You don't
that
need
LinkedIn does have scheduling. And Leonard adds in the chat, there's some great external scheduler posting tools as well.
yes, definitely. And I think that there's one with an owl, Hootsuite, and then Buffer,
Mm,
the two that I'm familiar with a little bit, but I've just been using Sprout
yeah,
Social for so long.
nice.
Awesome. So, one of the things while you're doing this, let me look at my time. Okay, you're good. Excuse me. One of the things is that you always want to be growing your online audience. So I just wanted to put this in there just because I find some people don't know. But when people react to your Facebook posts on your page, such as love, like, care, so on and so forth, you can actually go into those reactions and invite people to follow your page. I think everybody needs to make sure they're doing that. Another thing that's very successful right now, might not be in the future, is sharing things to Facebook groups. So you should use your personal Facebook profile to join groups and your business to join groups, your business page to join groups. Some groups will allow businesses in it and some won't, and some will allow promotional posts and some won't. So basically, you can share when you're posting something on Facebook directly, you can share it into multiple groups. Um, or you can take it and reword it a little bit different so it doesn't sound salesy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like here's some information from your personal post and put it into a Facebook group. Anyways, Facebook groups are great. Invite people to like your page. Also, on events, if you have a Facebook event for your page, you can invite up to 500 followers to that Facebook event, which is a great little trick. It's a lot of clicking because you can't just do it automatically, but it's worth it because again, when the Facebook events, you can post within the discussions, and then that will give that Facebook user a notification. Um, in, in with groups, with the Facebook events as well, is you can take your personal profile and invite people and share it out there. I like to use my personal profile plus my business accounts, and I like to talk to myself through different brands just because it creates more engagement, which helps with the algorithm. Um, and for those of you guys that don't know, like there's algorithms everywhere, in reality and online, and basically it just tells it's a formula that tells that basically identifies what you're going to see when you sign on. So what's in your feed, and it's based on who's clicking what, the engagement, and all other sorts of data. Make sure you tag or mention your partners and vendors. That will allow you to kind of grab some of their audience. And speaking of grabbing audience, just to go back to the Facebook groups again, is once you go in, if you post something into a Facebook group and somebody likes it or reacts to that post in the group, then you can invite them to follow. I use that trick a lot when I'm trying to grow my audiences. So I'll post into a group, rightfully so. It's all in the same industry, and then people will like it within that group. And then I go in, and it's a lot of times it's just a lot of different people that don't follow my page now, so that's a good way to grow. Always be growing your email list as well. So if you're at a trade show, you're collecting emails, you get business cards, ask people to if they want to, receive your monthly newsletter, so on and so forth. Some people don't, and be respectful, obviously. And I don't recommend buying lists. I don't buy lists. I like to generate them myself. And technically it's illegal to do that, but obviously we're still at the Wild West. Um, Ask questions on Facebook, LinkedIn, so on and so forth, any network that you're in. The more that you grow your audience, the easier it's going to be to develop a relationship and sell your products and services. So, analytics. Like I was talking about, you want to track your progress. And this can mean all sorts of different things. There's plenty of data out there, especially on social media and email marketing. That's available to you. So you probably have some people might have a CRM where they're tracking everything about their clients, their movements. With the email marketing, the only thing that you can pretty much track is the open rates and click through rates. I always like to, when I'm adding emails, to make sure I have a first and last name at least. You can put in company name in there. You could do addresses, birth dates, so on and so forth, which may help you if you're doing like retail business or any business where you want to send them like a birthday gift or a promotion. Um, with the social media networks, they have, the impressions, engagements, reach, and typically you can click on the little bubble and find out exactly what that means. So I like to look at like the engagement rate. So it's basically how many people saw this and how many people actually did something. I like that, but I also like just impressions in general. You're basically going to find that if somebody is liking and sharing your content and commenting on it, that you're going to get more exposure. So the I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Gary V, but he's a big in the marketing department or in the industry, and he's telling everybody, which he's usually on point, is to be posting 3 times per day on every social media, but mostly TikTok, because apparently TikTok's blowing up more so than Instagram right now. But that's probably a whole other presentation. Um, So, yeah, we like to look at all the fluffy stuff, right? But we also, as business owners, want to know what we sold. So look at the lead, whether they're leads coming in or the actual sales. That's really our bottom line, right? Um, However, don't count everything else out for the exposure because, again, we're growing an audience that we can market to on a regular basis. And then if you're getting sales leads, make sure you find out what was the cost, what was the revenue that was actually closed, because we want to make sure that we're getting the correct leads, qualified leads that are, and not just people that are kicking tires or they're just not necessarily the right fit. And that's more a B2B as well. So, for instance, we work with a home improvement company and they track all the leads that come in through their website because that's where we're driving traffic through email and social media and Google Ads. And then they count how many people they're closing. So that's the lead comes in. Did we do a quote on them? Did we go out and, do the quote? And then what closed? And just one of those closes covers all of their marketing expenses for the entire year. So it's well worth it. Another example, just not so much analytics and whatnot, but we were sending out an email marketing campaign once a month for a promotional items company, which is basically selling, branded pens and cups and things of that nature. And they weren't getting direct sales from that. Um, every single time, and the open rate was always low. That's what it was. And but a lot of people stayed on that list because they are a customer or a previous customer, or they know that they need something from that company. So say the marketing person is getting the promotional items list with a couple items for trade shows or this or that, and they just stay on the list. But eventually they stay on the list because they know that they need that reminder to order something. So then when that one order comes in, again, it well overpays for the email marketing. Um, and I think that's why the ROI is so high on email marketing. So once you do everything, you're looking at your opportunities, your failures. If it's just you, you got to kind of brainstorm that yourself or talk it out loud with whoever you're talking to. But if you have a team, it's nice to get everybody's opinion, and I do recommend doing that when you're creating the promotions and when you're reviewing them as well for multiple reasons. So if you have employees or a team, you want to make them feel included, and they may have some really great ideas that you might not be thinking about, and then just allow them to review. So then now they're thinking and bringing it to your attention of other things that you could do to promote the business. And I'm running early, I guess, because I thought I'd be talking longer. Um, but lastly, just be yourself, believe in your business, create value, and tell people about it. Don't be afraid to tell people about what you do, because you are in the market, you are in business for a reason, because you knew the value existed and you brought it to the table. So it would almost dishonor yourself and your customers or your potential customers by not allowing them to know that you're available to do this service or provide this product. And then authenticity goes a long way. I think just being yourself, a lot of people get hung up on like, oh, they're not going to like me and this and that. People are always, everybody just is who they are. And I think that just being yourself and talking from who you are, um, obviously we want to be nice, right? But just having your own tone makes a lot of sense. Don't go overdo it in trying to be something else. And it is difficult if you own a brand, and I think all small business owners struggle with this, is like, am I me or am I the brand? And by the way things go is that if you're a small business owner, your brand is part you, but it's not all you. So you have your personal life, you have things that you like that may not even come with a brand, but and then the brand's just staying in its own silo. Like that's offering that state. Like for me, my brand's staying in its silo by being marketing, marketing, marketing. However, marketing is a big piece of my brand, of myself. So I'm going to talk about it myself, but I'm also going to talk about my children going to field hockey games and things of that nature. And it's okay to keep that separate. Just keep your brand on point for what it is, but you can still kind of show your tone and your personality through your brand as well. And lastly, enjoy the holidays. And I will take questions.
Great. We did have Fred comment that his main issue is most customers don't need repeat work often for free work. Could be every couple of years or longer. He's trying to figure out how to best market to get new people in.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. What was Fred's business again?
He was the arborist landscaping business with specializing in fruit trees, ornamental trees, and wildfire mitigation.
Does Fred want to talk?
Yeah, Fred, if you want to comment, feel free to come up mute or throw it in the chat.
Sorry about
Otherwise,
that.
yeah,
I'm
go
here.
ahead.
I
Oh, cool. Hey, Fred.
Hey, I had to dig my phone out of my pocket.
I get it.
So our main business is tree work. And like I said,
Okay.
I prune a tree, it may not need to get pruned for years. I remove a tree, that job is done, obviously, because it's gone. It's not
Right.
coming back. Um, And that's one
Now,
of
are
the
you
things, like,
doing? Are you Fred? Are you doing this for residential and commercial, or just residential?
basically residential, because
Uh,
we're a very small business. It's a family business. It's myself and my wife that does most of the work. Um,
Valid.
and so yeah, so I'm just, limited budget for marketing. I've paid for Facebook ads. I've paid for the local Ellsworth Spring Home and Garden.
Hmm. Are you doing
Whatever.
email? You're not doing email marketing, or you are?
I'm not. I mean, I'm not doing it in an official way. I'll go through. Okay, I know this customer. I pruned their tree 2 years ago. I just did this. I just reached out. Hey, it's winter time. It's been a couple years. Do you want me to come and prune? But
Right.
I realize that's probably not the most efficient. But
Well,
um,
using the email software makes sense, but the thing about your business is it's word of mouth.
yes,
So you still want to market to the people that have already used your services,
yep,
reviews, things of that nature. And it
yep,
is hard when you're one and done.
yeah.
But and how long have you had this business?
Full time since 2000. Oh, probably 17. I've done it since
Oh, well,
2012.
congratulations. That's great. Um,
Yeah.
so
And
I
that's
would
one
just
reason
think,
why. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I'm curious, and so you do trees, like
Yep.
cut them down or prune them. What
Yep.
else was it that you do?
So we do some like landscape and garden maintenance and stuff like that. The other thing, so my previous life, I was a wildland firefighter for the federal government for 20 years, doing specializing in fire mitigation, so protection of homes
That makes
before
sense.
fires start. So I'm also getting to the point where I don't necessarily want to be doing manual labor, getting older.
Right.
So
Of course.
my body's
No, I
telling
get
me
it.
you gotta stop that. So that's why I'm like, I'm
Good
gonna
luck.
start adding more consulting planning work for the wildfire mitigation. I realize it's a very niche market. It probably is only going to be done by, so I live in Bar Harbor, so I have the higher end
Valid.
clientele here.
Hmm.
It's really going to be people like that. And after this summer, people are talking about, because, we're still technically in a drought, and Maine has,
Right. We're dry.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
dry.
oh, just to sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah,
yeah, I would definitely get on email marketing because that's your base. Like you got to create your online audience, like I said, and just
okay.
allow them to be there. And then that way also you can launch new services. But that's what I was gonna say in the beginning when you were saying that is that you have plenty of room to offer products or services on top of that that's not like one and done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can do that for homeowners
Yep.
instead of like national organizations or parks or anything. I mean, you could
Yeah.
also do that there too, but homeowners, I mean, they might be interested if they have a lot of land.
Well, and
If
that's
you're
what
in,
I'm focusing on would be the homeowners, the states and those folks.
but
Um,
also get them on a subscription of some sort, fall and
uh-huh.
winter,
Yep.
for pruning or landscaping or cleanup.
Yep.
Because with any type of landscaping, it's you have your spring cleanup and your fall cleanup,
Yep. Yep.
things of that nature, and
As
then
well as
and
the
then
winter storm cleanup as we get hit.
exactly.
Okay.
Excuse me. So there, maybe it's like, prices are going up in 26, get on a contract or just release a contract. So that's maybe not a promotion, but it's like a service
Yep.
value added is what
Okay.
I would recommend.
Okay. So that's some good
Yeah, I
thought.
think too that's where Facebook groups could come in as well. Your local, like kind of
Yeah.
neighborhood community groups would be a great place to be posting ads and just getting yourself out there.
So we have a local one for in this area. We aren't, as a business, allowed to market 3/4 of the year on it. But if someone says, I'm looking for blah, 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 we can, as a business, can reply.
Right.
So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So a lot of during the wintertime, we're allowed to do some limited marketing, like on Sundays, is what they
Hmm.
do, which I
That's
get it.
interesting.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
otherwise it gets overwhelmed, and so many people on this page now aren't even from here because of I mean, it's all Maine, the tourist side of it. So
Right. No, I get that. Yeah. Because it's right, which everybody needs, but those are
yeah,
people great to have their emails when they're out of state.
yeah.
And then
So
I'm assuming you're using Facebook as well. Do you have Facebook followers?
I do. I've been building. I got like
Good.
a little over 3,000 people, I think, right now.
Nice. So you
Um,
have a great audience with that. So I would
mm,
just be posting to your page.
yeah, I try. I I would like to say I do every day. I try at least several times a week to get something on there.
That's good.
Video, or like I just did a live post today on what I was doing for work today.
Well, with those, make sure, like, I don't know if you're just kind of showing what you're doing, but do you also use a call to action? Because I would recommend doing that.
On like today's, I was describing this fire mitigation work I'm doing today. So I was like, this is why we're doing this, is what we're doing. And I said something like, if you have any questions, comment below, but I didn't necessarily say, give me a call or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely use your call to actions because that goes a long way and people expect you to do that anyways.
Okay.
And then if you're doing video already, you can easily transition that video, use that those videos on TikTok, and I would recommend.
Okay. Yeah. I don't do a TikTok. I have it linked up to Instagram as well.
Good. Yeah. So you get
but-
the reels going on over there too.
Yeah. Okay. This is some good info.
Sure thing. Thanks, Fred.
Yep.
And everybody's welcome to contact me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, Jasper, but I think so, right?
Yeah.
But since my contact information is out
absolutely.
there, I'm just not allowed to sell anything.
I'll include your contact info.
Yeah, and
and
anybody
follow-up
that wants a
message.
free consultation with me, that's fine. Like I do that on a regular basis. So if anybody wants to talk, I can give you some pointers without trying to sell you anything.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions for that? I know Leonard threw out Metricool as well as a social media scheduling app.
What is that?
And that has a free plan. Metricool,
I've never heard of that one.
METRICOOL.
Yeah, I see it now. Oh, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, haven't heard of that one myself, but yeah, I'll definitely check it out as well. Well, if we don't have any other questions, we can wrap up. I do want to thank everyone for attending. I want to thank Tracy for another great presentation. Oh yeah, of course. Go ahead.
It's noisy, that's why I didn't want to unmute. But I was just curious to know about if there are any tips about like running, especially Facebook ads, just to get the promotions going in terms of like budget, what to expect. Is it that also do you get lower intent leads from Facebook, that kind of thing? Any tips would be good for someone that's just starting.
What is your business? Or are you just
it is event planning.
okay? Yeah.
Event planning. So now we're focused on event planning and gifting. So just that whole package. So either client appreciation events or just the gifting aspect. Yeah.
Gifting as in what? Sorry. So your event, do you use ads now?
Yes. So gifting as in client gifts. So either they're going full package and then doing an event for clients plus gifts, like thank you gifts, appreciation gifts, or
nice.
just gifts. Yeah.
I recommend not spending a whole lot on Facebook. I mean, because it will only go so far. So you either got to decide, are you advertising on a regular basis or is this like a one-time ad type of thing? But like a few $100s a month is sufficient based on your client base. How far are you going? So when you're doing Facebook advertising, you need to clearly identify the audience, and there's a bunch of interests. And then obviously you can do the location, and I'm pretty sure you can still do income and whatnot. And then so it's fine tuning that based on what you know. Another thing that you can do, if you have the email list, you can upload the email list and do a lookalike audience. So that's very helpful because Facebook has obviously information on everybody's emails. And so there's various ways to to advertise on Facebook. So you can do like a boosted post based on the same audience, or you can just do general for like page growth and whatnot. But I would test everything. So I know one company that they just post everything they post. They put like a minimal budget. Back then, it was a while ago. So they had put $7 for a boost for 7 days, and on every single piece of content they put on Facebook. And then anything that was growing, that got higher results, they put more money towards. So you can always do it as an A/B test, but I wouldn't be spending more than like $100 per promotion, or give or take.
No, that's very helpful, especially the part about the list and using that to at least improve your results. So thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Any others before we wrap up?
Well, thank you,
Well, if
Jasper. I appreciate your
Yeah,
the
of course.
hosting, and thanks everybody for showing up and the questions. I love it when people have questions.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. Yeah, great presentation as always. We appreciate the info. As mentioned earlier, and we were recording today, so we'll be sending a copy of that out once it's available, as well as a survey that we would love if everyone fills out. We take the feedback seriously. And as a reminder, SCORE Maine offers free, confidential one-on-one mentoring, whether you're starting or growing your business. It's easy to request a meeting with a mentor by visiting score.org, where you signed up for this workshop, and clicking on Find a Mentor. And a little bit of our background, we're a nonprofit partner of the SBA, and we have chapters all around the country, including right here in Maine. And since we started in 1964, we've helped over 11 million entrepreneurs. I want to thank everyone again for attending, and hope to see you again at one of our future workshops.
Have a great day. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. Have a good one.